Congress is bracing for a busy fall schedule with key legislative deadlines looming at the end of September. On Friday, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer warned Democrats to be ready to work late nights and weekends as the party tries to avoid a government shutdown and debt ceiling cliff. Democrats will also be working to confirm President Biden's nominees. U.S. Treasury officials say that the government could run out of funds at the beginning of October if Congress fails to compromise on how much money it can spend and borrow. Republicans say they won't vote to raise the debt ceiling, despite doing so several times during the Trump administration. Earlier today, Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy sought to explain his party's position.
They're hoping to increase the debt ceiling to meet their $3.5 trillion package, which the Committee for Responsible Federal Budget says is actually $5.5 trillion. And so we're going to disagree on this. They are increasing the debt ceiling to make room for a $5.5 trillion Democratic Party wish list.
Marianne LeVine has been covering all of this for Politico, and she joins me now. Marianne, walk us through some of the major deadlines that lawmakers will be trying to meet in the coming weeks.
Well, it's going to be a really busy fall for Congress. We're starting out this week with the House set to vote on whether to suspend the debt ceiling. Leader Hoyer has mentioned to members that is a vote that is coming up. Also on the list is keeping the government funded past September 30th. And on top of all of that, Democrats still have to muscle their way through their $3.5 trillion social spending package, along with the bipartisan physical infrastructure deal that is set for a vote September 27th.
Well, the House Rules Committee is set to meet Monday to work on a stopgap spending bill. But given what we're hearing from Republicans, what's going to be included in that bill? How long will it keep the government solvent? And do you think we're looking at the possibility of a shutdown?
It's unclear right now. Democratic leaders are eyeing a stopgap funding date of around December 10th. Some say a little bit earlier in December, but that is unclear at the moment what specific date Democratic leaders are going to pick. This bill is also expected to include funding for disaster aid, which President Biden has requested, as well as money for Afghan evacuee resettlement. So it's a pretty substantial bill. And what's unclear right now is whether Democrats are also going to include a debt ceiling suspension in this package. A lot of Democrats argue that Republicans have a responsibility to suspend the debt ceiling in a bipartisan way, but it's not clear if that debt suspension is going to be linked to government funding or not at the moment.
Well, so far, moderate Democrats like Senators Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema have had a lot of say in the negotiations on infrastructure. They're now taking issue with the price tag of the president's social spending plan. Here's what Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders said about that earlier on Face the Nation.
But I have already made, and my colleagues have made, a major compromise going from $6 trillion down to $3.5 trillion.
So am I hearing you correctly when you say you are not willing to move on that $3.5 trillion number, even if the president asks you to do it? I mean, are you risking losing everything?
Look, right now what we are doing is we are engaging with the House and the Senate. It is a complicated proposal. All I am telling you is that $3.5 trillion is much too low. A compromise has already been made. An agreement has been made. And the American people, by the way, poll after poll after poll, are telling us now is the time to stand up to powerful special interests. Now is the time to start representing working families.
So you hear how progressives within the Democratic Party are planning to try and take back some of their bargaining power. Do you think that they're likely to be successful in that?
So I think we're all in wait and see mode. As I mentioned, the House is set to vote September 27th on the bipartisan physical infrastructure deal. And House progressives are saying that they have the votes to sink the bipartisan deal if necessary. A lot of progressives say that the two bills, both the social spending package and the bipartisan physical infrastructure package, that those two need to move together, because they view that if the House does pass a bipartisan physical infrastructure package, which Senators Sinema and Joe Manchin played a really big role on, that progressives will lose their leverage when it comes to the $3.5 trillion social spending package. So right now, progressives are saying they have the votes to tank this bipartisan physical infrastructure bill if necessary, but it's a broader question of whether or not they're actually going to do this. It also is a lot of pressure because this is the bipartisan physical infrastructure package is a big priority for President Joe Biden. And so some centrist Democrats are skeptical that House progressives will actually pull the trigger and sink the bipartisan physical infrastructure package, but we're very much in wait and see mode.
Marianne, Democrats and the White House vowed to take action after a number of Republican state legislatures passed bills that Democrats say make it harder for people to vote, and we know that in fact is the case. Have they made any progress when it comes to election reform legislation? Where is the current status of that?
So the current status of election and ethics reform legislation is Senate Democrats last week unveiled what was largely viewed as an inter-party compromise bill on election and ethics reform. President Joe Biden, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, they've all said that voting rights is a key agenda item for Democrats, and they had another bill titled S1, which was widely viewed as a broader proposal than the inter-party compromise bill that was introduced last week that was intended to get all 50 Democrats on board, including Senator Joe Manchin, who had issues with the initial proposal, but worked on the inter-party compromise bill. So that's been introduced, and Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has said he expects the Senate to take another vote on this proposal as soon as this week. But right now, the bill is very likely to fail, given that it has no support to break a filibuster from Senate Republicans.
And I want to ask you about one last thing before you leave us. Earlier this week, we learned that more than 12,000 migrants, mostly from Haiti, are waiting under a bridge in Texas to be processed by Border Patrol. The Biden administration is set to ramp up deportations as the U.S. immigration system is already strained by a record number of migrants. Tell us, what's the status of Democrats in terms of immigration reform?
So Senate Democrats largely view the $3.5 trillion social spending package as also their best chance to do some type of immigration reform this Congress. Right now, Democrats are waiting on a decision from the Senate parliamentarian about whether or not they can include a provision in the social spending package that would provide legal permanent residency to an estimated 8 million undocumented immigrants. And many Democrats say that this is the most likely pathway forward on any type of immigration reform this Congress, given that bipartisan talks have essentially stalled on this topic. So we're still waiting to see what the Senate parliamentarian decides. Senate Republicans argue that this provision does not meet the various arcane rules that are needed to basically sidestep the filibuster through the reconciliation process. But we're waiting on a decision, and a lot of Democrats believe that decision from the Senate parliamentarian could come as soon as this week.
All right, Marianne LeVine, thank you.
Thanks for having me.